Credits! This game was made by not a lot of people, apparently. If they could just fit all the credits right here and right now. Okay. I did beat the game. Huzzah! Which is kind of unfortunate because I was thinking about writing down my thoughts today. And today is what, day 5? Yeah, day 5. So yeah, Warhammer 40,000 Mechanicus conquered. I gotta say, well, I guess first I gotta say, this was a viewer requested game by Dante. And thank you, Dante, for requesting this game. I actually enjoyed this game quite a bit. I'm so glad I chose the difficulty that I did because, like the first couple of missions were like, oh, you know what, this is like my kind of groove. I'm getting to go into things, and then I hit a couple missions where it was just insane difficulty, and then I felt like I had to crawl back, and I crawled back and emerged an overpowered awesomeness that was my team. And I feel like I could have made it more overpowered. I don't think the melee attacker is really the way to go. Going down that full tree, having the extra ranged attacks, I think, are so much better. But I mean, it worked out. Obviously, I still brought the ruckus. But yeah, this game was quite a bit of fun. I will say that I have some fundamental dislikes about it, mostly in the sense of when I want to play a tactics game of any variety, really. I think one of the most important things for me is to have perfect information. I think that's like if there's one thing that you can give me in a tactics game to immediately get on my good side, it's perfect information. I want to be able to look at enemies and know what they can do, how much damage they do, any special abilities, what their HP values are, and things like that. And you can't really do that in this game. You can't inspect enemies. And I feel like the damage ranges for them, they expand as the game goes on, or at least it feels like that. So I feel like that was the one missing thing. I couldn't see like where they could move, what their movement speed was, what their abilities. And I think perfect information in tactics games is what makes them tactics games for me personally. Oh wait, there is more. There's a scroll bar down here. Oh, all right. Well, we're over here. Voices. Let's go right here for right now. Yeah, the lack of perfect information made it kind of difficult because, like, you have to wait for an enemy to do something to figure out what they do, and you don't really want to play like that in any tactics game, especially in a tactics game that takes on an XCOM style. You don't want to get hit, period. And so trying to bait out an attack and figure out if they just have one ability or two abilities, it's rough times. But yeah, I think that's primarily where I would go. I wasn't a big fan of the story. I feel like the story was very not there. There were like individual narratives and things like that going on, but they like it doesn't really cohesively create one narrative. We arrive on a planet and we're invading the planet, and that's basically what we're doing. Like, that's the story. It wasn't a narrative that I would have or that I gravitated to, I guess, because there really wasn't a whole lot there. I'll go down over this way. Let's see. Um, for like the mechanic stuff, I already mentioned, like perfect information. Um, I like the customization in this game. I think it's really cool that you can kind of build a character in any which way. Although, when I did start out, I was reading everything, and everything seemed really strong based off of the first, like 2 or 3 tutorial missions that I did. But as the game went on, I felt like things that I thought were strong were actually not really that great in practice. Like in theory, some of these things would be really good, but in practice, they weren't all that they could be. And so I wish. Uh, I know Dante said that they used the skill trees used to be worse, and then they just made them all overpowered and whatnot. I do wish that they were at least like the bottoms of the trees were a little better, I suppose. I think the tops of the trees were actually probably the better sections. Like the first 3 or 4 points were very strong, but once you get down to the end, it didn't seem all that great. But at the same time, I wasn't playing on the hardest difficulty or what have you, so it's possible that those things are easier to to fit into a build, or maybe not. Maybe I just went down the proper route. Who knows? Oh, look at that. That's kind of nice. Oh, I think these were actually added into to the game. Um, let's see. Anything else that I want to say about mechanics? I don't think I have anything else. Uh, the music, I think the music actually fits the game pretty well. Um, I have a level up this playlist episode of this game coming up someday in the future, and I guess spoilers. I'm not a really big fan of the soundtrack outside of the game, but inside of the game, I think it works really nice. The atmosphere really does add to the gameplay, and when you're fighting those boss fights and the Overlord track is on, you just start hearing the flares of the organs and stuff like that. Like it sounds really nice. It adds so much to the gameplay and whatnot. And the dips where it goes down, where normally if I listen to it outside of the game, it would be like huge low points. Like those moments are actually also nice because you get to focus in on the gameplay a little bit more instead of hearing the blast of the music and stuff. So again, like super cool. If the developer is watching, I honestly I like the game. I personally would like to see perfect information be a thing. I would also like to see a way to view things without having to go into combat first. Like, for example, if there's a gun that says it shoots in a straight line, it would have been really nice to have like a looping video that shows how it interacts and how it does damage. Because if I were to choose a specific weapon to use and it sucks, I'm stuck with that for a really long time, and we didn't want that. There are specific weapons that I feel are tailored to whatever playstyle I'm trying to go with, and I don't want to risk taking a chance on a weapon that just attacks in a line, or or what have you, because you know, like all of these weapons cost a lot of cognition to use. So there's a lot more risk to do that. But other than that, I think I'm pretty good. You know, like this game was fun. It was enjoyable. I had a great time with it, and yeah, I think that's my thoughts on Warhammer 40,000 Mechanicus. Yeah.